AOC is demanding a list. It's the political police. You know him. You love me. It is Commissar Hans, Chief Commissariat of the Political Police. And AOC is demanding a list of Trump podcasters. That's right. AOC went on live on Instagram, on the Instagrams, talking to Trump voters. Which podcasts and accounts people do you like? She wants a list. AOC wants a list because apparently something very interesting happened in her district. Yes, she got reelected, but also the people in her district also voted for Donald Trump. So they voted for Trump, but I also voted for her. And maybe AOC is having a slice of humble pie because she's realizing that, oh, okay, maybe the Democrats have skipped over a message here. Maybe there's something bigger going on here. Hey, AOC, you're talking about podcasts? Well, maybe, I don't know, listen to Joe Rogan. Oh, that's pretty controversial right there. Or maybe, hey, check out the Jimmy Dore Show or Hardlands Media or Do Dissidents or RBN. You know, because I have a few Trump people who listen to my show. I have a few libertarians who listen to my show. I have a few Green Party people who listen to my show. I got a lot of independents. I got a lot of people. We got a lot of people. But you don't have to believe me. AOC, take a bow and lead the way.
Which podcasts are you listening to? Which accounts are you subscribing to? I'm interested, like genuinely. Let me know which ones specifically, which accounts, which podcasts, etc.
Do you think this is a trap? Type 1 for no, kid. AOC is generally curious because she wants to know who the Trumpers are listening to, who anybody is listening to. Type 2, no, no, this is not this is a serious trap, man. We are in trouble here because she wants a list of who to censor and suppress, man. It's a trick. Open up. Commissar Hans of the Political Police. Don't tell. Don't tell. Is this a CIA op? I wonder how many twos will be in the chat. I wonder. But what is going on? What is happening here? Well, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I'm listening. Split ticket Trump supporters. Now, I don't know why this video is playing. Every time I do this, it always plays. She received, okay, so here's something interesting. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or as we like to call it, AOC, has taken to Instagram to listen to split ticket voters from last week's election, posting a question box asking people who supported President-elect Trump or me or voted Trump Democrat, tell us why. Explain why. Folks, don't do it. It's a way to trick you and trap you. AOC's made a list. She's checking it twice. She's going to find out who's woke or not. The CIA and FBI are coming to your house. They see you when you're watching the internet. They know when you're awake. They know when you said something critical or not. So beware, cause big. Okay, I'm screwing up the song. Okay, never mind. Stick to what you're good at, kid. Don't sing. She received a variety of responses from her 8.1 million of followers and beyond, citing reasons ranging from Trump and Ocasio-Cortez care for the working class to the war in Gaza. Oh, okay, people. Hey, listen. I know there's a lot of diehard Republican red and diehard Democrat blue, but all of you beautiful people need to realize that these politicians don't care about the issues. You silly gooses, you. I'm listening, she wrote. Sometimes you got to dig in and see it to understand and adapt, even if it makes you want to barf. Well, that's not being nice. I support you and did this. Felt like I didn't have a choice after Biden's administration, one reply said. You are focused on the real issues people care about, similar to Trump's populism in some ways, another said. Oh, God. Oh, you poor people. Why? This is why I say we should be signing up to knock on doors and be on phones, Ocasio-Cortez said in another story, in response to a comment that said responses were blowing her mind. Really? If you're only tuning into mass media, you will think that most people fall along the spectrum, and a lot of people don't. Well, yeah, we saw that in 2016. case in point that there were some Trump supporters, like a good portion of them, who would have considered supporting Bernie Sanders in a general election, or either that, there were a lot of people, non-engaged political voters, independents, conservatives, who were listening to Bernie Sanders' message in 2016. My, oh my, why weren't you paying attention? She added that door knocking and phone banking are not a junior thing that politicians should grow out of. She also posted stories also asking about where leftists and Trump supporters voters get their news from and shared some of those responses as well. Oh no. I don't know if we got any Hardlands Media people who are on Instagram who might follow AOC, but did you did you did, who ratted me out? It was Trey. But hold on, there's a little bit more because apparently AOC explains the election result as well.
Personally, I don't. I think that a lot of voters really don't like fake people and they're sick and tired of fake politicians. And so, what I actually think is worse is saying something you don't believe. And so, if during the entire time in campaign season, you're saying that you're down with trans people or like the LGBT community, and then you lose an election, and then the next day you say all that stuff was wrong. I actually think what people are more upset about is someone was doing something they didn't believe and just saying something. Like, if you actually weren't about that life, why did you campaign as though you were?
That's 52 seconds that destroyed your brain cells because I have no idea what she was trying to say. I mean, seriously, do you buy the argument that woke that woke loses elections? Well, first of all, there was nothing woke about the Kamala Harris or Biden campaign. It was nothing but neoliberal platitudes and fakeness. I mean, if you think they care about the issues, how come they never really followed through with anything for the last 3.5 years? I mean, it's abundantly clear that the Biden Harris administration was only again continue on the neoliberal agenda. I mean, Biden said during the 2020 debates that nothing would fundamentally change, and nothing did. Who is shocked? Who is surprised? Who's surprised by that? Now, I also want to pull up something else here as well, because let's just go ahead and just share this with all of you beautiful people here, because I want to share this. All right. Now, I have no idea what she was saying either. But let's go on and continue on with something else here. So, if you voted for Donald Trump and me, or because again, she wants to know, what's going on here. So I'm listening. People who supported both Trump and me, or voted Trump Democrat, tell us why. It's simple. Trump and you care for the working class. Oh, bless your heart. You're a good person, but you're wrong. I feel Trump and you are both real. No. Oh, get out of it. This is a sickness of the highest order. The two-party system must be broken. Trump is going to get us the money and let's men have a voice. You're brilliant and have amazing passion. Let's see what else. Voted for Trump, but I like you and Bernie. I don't trust either party establishment politicians. Okay. Voted for Trump in Arizona, but voted for Democrat Rupert instead of Kari Lake because thought he's a good at handling war. Ay, ay, ay. Come on, people. Be better than this. Let's see. Let's see. I know people that did this, and it was because of Gaza. Voted for Trump and you, not genocide Harris. Democrats need Bernie. Yeah. Okay, listen, people, wake up. More of your responses. Again, mom does this. Says she votes Democrat local for services and Republican for national for budget. Okay, there's a lot more of this, and you can find these links in the show notes. But I want to pull this tab up here too.
AOC put out a question on her Instagram stories for her own constituents to answer about how they voted because her district, a lot of them voted for Trump and then voted for her. AOC lives in a heavily Latino district. 52% of her district is Hispanic. And people in the media and the Republicans are always saying that AOC is such a far leftist. So, I think it's interesting that she was asking people, like, why did you vote for Trump and then me? Like, it seems so opposite. And the responses were fascinating. People who support both Trump and me or voted Trump Dem tell us why. She wasn't the choice of the people, no primary, couldn't interview, no clear policies. I voted for Trump and then Dems because he reached out to Muslims. Oh, who could have predicted that? I voted all Dem, but damn, you guys make it so hard. I think I identify more with you and Bernie. Oh, look, because of Gaza. It's real simple. Trump and you care for the working class. Well, Trump doesn't, but that's besides the point right now. Trump is going to get us the money and let men have a voice. You're brilliant, have amazing passion. Yeah, sure, but let's just keep pretending that Democrats aren't alienating men. We can just keep pretending that. But want it changed, so I went with Trump and blue for the rest of the ballot to put some brakes. I feel like you and Trump are both real.
Again, I think we're all kind of vomiting in our brains as we hear the idea of Trump and AOC are both real. No, 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 they're not. Okay. Now, look, I know we got some Trumpers who watch the show, and I know we got even some liberals who hate watch me. I love you. But both parties are not real. I think AOC, I think what we're seeing here is AOC somewhat prepping for what could happen in the midterm election cycle. Do I see her following through or being a progressive fighter? No. I mean, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again. Because I think we've all seen firsthand the hypocrisy of the squad and the Justice Democrats. I think if AOC wanted to be real, or Izzet wanted to cross that Rubicon to realize that, hey, maybe progressives and independents aren't such a big fan of the Democratic Party and their BS, especially with Biden and Harris and the 4 years of absolute BS. Go on the Jimmy Dore show. Go on our show. Come on to Hard Lens Media. Go on Joe Rogan's podcast. AOC. It is abundantly clear, very clear, that people have absolute disdain for the Democrats. And just bring it here to Chicago, there are so many communities now that are pushing back against the Democratic machine. And it's something unheard of. Now, is it a massive pushback? No, but it's the beginning stages of what could very well shake the foundations of the political infrastructure in Chicago. And Chicago is a die-hard blue city. But after this election cycle, voter turnout, yes, it was blue and heavily blue, but there was some red showing up, a lot of it, and independent. So what I would say to the Democrats is view Chicago as that canary in the coal mine. This is unheard of. But AOC trying to answer these questions now. I mean, look, you failed to follow through. You failed to follow through with your promises. Holding Biden's feet to the fire, that never happened. You're saying that he did a phenomenal job. If he did such a phenomenal job, why did Biden and Harris lose so terribly to Donald Trump? I gave this warning in 2020. Daniel was right there beside me saying the exact same thing. Jimmy Dore said the same thing. Everybody's been saying the same thing. And even you, my audience, all said the same thing. If the Democrats don't follow through in 2020, hey, there's a very good chance Donald Trump could very well run again and possibly get reelected. Now, when we said that on our show, oh boy, did some people get pissed off at us. Did some people get angry with us? And I know I'm repeating myself, but I have to be clear on this because I want to be consistent. People were saying that you're wrong, that Trump won't do it. Trump's going to go to jail. Well, Trump's not going to jail. He's going to the White House. Simple as that. All right. Now, people like Kyle Kulinski or David Pakman or Fat Tony, a.k.a. Cenk Uygur, or Sammy Boy Cedar, the whole rest of them can lie to their audience and say, oh, well, Trump's going to jail or Trump's going to get impeached or Trump's not going to get elected. Well, that didn't happen because they let their biases get the better of them. They lacked critical thinking to realize that the system doesn't just play along with what they want because voters do play a role. So I want to show a couple other videos here where AOC actually responds to questions on Instagram. I know. Listening to AOC, I'm sorry to put this through you guys, but you just got to see the mental gymnastics that she's doing here. It's phenomenal. It's incredible.
I don't think most people are. I think a lot of people were finding out this week what a tariff meant. That tariff is not what China or some other country pays. It's what you pay, what we pay. I think a lot of people aren't ready for
mass deportations and what that means, 1 in every 15 people in this country lives in a mixed status family. So that means that we're talking about 1 in every 15 people potentially having their families broken apart. I don't think we're ready for that, including what that means for the economy. I don't think we're ready for the censorship that is coming. And for a whole
Oh, don't you start with censorship. Don't you dare. Oh, don't you dare. Okay? Harlan's media has been hit more times under the Biden-Harris administration and all this BS censorship and cancel culture than under Trump, okay? And yes, we had to tiptoe around things, but I mean, if we're talking about the big heavy hitters like the knockout punches, it happened under Biden-Harris. The censorship that's coming our way, yeah, and to be clear here, this is the Trumpers too. Your boy kind of laid down the foundation, a solid foundation, especially what he did to Julian Assange. He didn't open the door; he blew up the door. As soon as that man was taken out of the embassy, the Ecuadorian embassy in London, that was the beginning. No debate, no conversation. It was the true beginning. And all of that fantastic times, Harlan's media and all of our colleagues have been living under Biden and Kamala with regards to censorship. Yeah, it was pretty bad, AOC. But hey, don't forget when Tucker Carlson got kicked off of Fox News, you said deplatforming works, right? And smiled about it.
whole lot more, but our job right now is to get ready and to prepare. No.
Oh, well. But hold on. There's one more. I'm sorry to put you guys through this abuse. I promise. Things are going to get just a little bit better. Just hold on. I don't want to put you guys through too much pain.
This is a not insignificant.
The infighting online on the left is ridiculous. The vitriol between Democrats and Republicans is abhorrent. How do we heal? Remember AOC when Jimmy Dore and everyone else in the progressive left was asking you to force the vote and you guys said no? And then when you were criticized about it, you said, this is violence.
This is a not insignificant problem. It's interesting that we are in a cultural moment where on the left and the right and the center, there's just a certain cachet and reward to being an asshole. And
who is that directed towards? Rogan? Dore? Hardlands Media? Who's hey, do you want to know who is being an a-hole of the highest order, AOC? When you and those 15 congressmen and women refuse to come on board for force to vote, and it turns out Representative Matt Gaetz proved that force to vote works. Boy, wouldn't it have been a sight to see if he actually stood up to Mama Bear? You know, the squad actually having a backbone. You know, maybe Jamal Bowman and Cory Booker wouldn't be voted out of office if they actually push forward with force to vote and actually stand up on other issues like we expected you to do. Remember running on Medicare for all? Who remembers that? Petra Farn remembers.
Yeah, we've seen it on the right. We also see it on the left. And I actually think that we need to be paying more attention to how a person is, because a lot of people use righteous or popular causes as an excuse or a smokescreen to let out their worst impulses or the ways that they wish they could treat people. And I think we need to pay a lot more attention to that in terms of deciding how to trust and who to trust as we move forward. I think it's a really big deal.
Do you think she's talking to the commentators who called her out for force to vote? Type 3 for, no, you're not that special. You, Jimmy Dore, and everybody else who's part of force to vote, you're just bad people, but you're not that special. She's not talking to you. Type 4, why do you think she asked for a list of who people listen to? Oh, Kit, you're going to get locked up. You're cooked, boy. Everyone's going to jail. I wonder how many 4s are going to be in the chat. I'm going to jail. Bob Lob Law 123. I think you're my future lawyer. She's talking to you, Kit. She is. I'm cooked. I'm cooked. I'm cooked. I'm a cooked boy. Oh no, is this the end for Kit Kat? Probably so, but hold on. Hold on, folks. I promise you. Just there's a little more because she has a game plan. She's got a plan. Folks. I know. She has a plan. I'm sorry to put this through. If I don't play this now, you'll have to catch it on your timeline some other time. And we're gonna rip this Band-Aid off together as a family.
A lot of questions.
What's the game plan and how we can help? So how do we stand against Trump? Well, protesting in front of Trump Tower ain't gonna help.
I've been getting a lot of questions to this effect. What's the game plan? What do we do? What's the deal? And what happened is so massive that it's going to take just a second. It's coming, but it's going to take a second to share. I would say personally, as I'm thinking about this, I'm going to be doing a lot more direct communication. So I think I'll be planning on using my email list to give a lot more thorough and specific things about what's on my mind and how to prepare for things.
Guys, donate $5 to Kamala Harris's campaign. She's $20 million in debt.
But again, that's not just a shameless plug. I do have the link here, but my recommendation is to join and enter community right now, whether it is church or your knitting circle or mosque or temple, or whether it is joining here in New York City DSA or Working Families Party, an interest group. Get into physical community.
Oh, Wendy Carballo, I'm sorry. The answer is yes. Yes, it has been. I sure hope my email wasn't sold to be on her list. Wendy, if you got to ask that, I'm so sorry. The answer is yes. Don't worry. I'm right there with you. Okay. I'm right there with you. One more, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this. One more, just one more. Bear with me. Why isn't it working? Come on, work properly. Work properly. Don't be stupid, computer. Maybe something not so scary, some reassurance. Okay, folks, people are terrified. Listen, I understand why people are afraid of a Trump presidency, but don't let fear consume you. We will survive. Somehow, some way, we will. We survived the first 4 Trump years. We're going to survive these 2, okay? It's going to be okay. Everyone's going to be okay.
I mean, listen, the fear is telling us something. But I also want to underscore how important it is during this time, that it actually is important to be intentional about living and living fully and bringing joy into the day-to-day.
Joy, bringing the joy.
And loving on the people who you love. There's like this scolding culture sometimes where it's like if someone dares to be happy in public, people want to like pounce on them. We are actually going to need that now more than ever, not in some gauzy, bubblegum kind of like deny how bad everything is kind of way, but that cultivating it is a tool of our survival.
That is so stupid. Sorry. I just had to rip that Band-Aid off. Okay, we survived it. I'm sorry to bombard all of you with those videos, but I do find it interesting that AOC is making this attempt. But what would make this attempt better on AOC's part, and if she's listening, hate watching, or one of her diehard followers are listening to Hard Lens Media, hey, we love you. Here's how you really cross that Rubicon. A lot of promises were made. And a lot of hype was built up after the 2016 election cycle after Bernie Sanders. In 2018, AOC, you yourself were a spark of hope and optimism. I remember when we were on the radio back in the early days for Hard Lens Media, when you got elected in office. I wasn't on board with the whole idea of reforming the Democratic Party from the inside. I was somewhat skeptical, but I thought, okay, it could probably work. But then as time progressed, it was clear you were becoming more and more comfortable with the machine. Perhaps you always were. And then came the talking down, the finger wagging, the Trump derangement syndrome, the dismissal of people, being on board for people being suppressed, not going on other shows that would challenge you critically, or either that, never forget how vocal you were about Bernie Sanders being on the Joe Rogan show and how it upset you, it triggered you, it made you angry. Well, cross the Rubicon, AOC. Let's see how sincere you really are. We know politicians are professional liars, otherwise you wouldn't be in office. What? It's a stereotype. It's very true. It's a very true stereotype about politicians. All politicians are lying liars who would like to lie. Go on Joe Rogan's show. Go on the Jimmy Dore show. Come on to Hardlands Media. Go to Due Dissidence. Go to RBN. Go on some libertarian shows. Cross the Rubicon. Talk to people. Actually talk to people. Talk to people. Because Mama Bear Nancy is 84. She is the setting sun. Old man Biden was a senile goat. Kamala Harris never had what it took, and nobody liked her. Sorry about that. Okay? That's if you're sincere about this. So perhaps I will open this up to my audience. Do you think AOC is sincere for actually maybe trying to reach out to other people? Maybe trying to learn a lesson after the Democrats got a beating from Trump? Type 5 for, yes, kid. Actually, I think this could be a chance. Maybe it's a chance to really hear her speak. Type 6, no, this is all performative art. We all know the answer. It's just all performance so that the Democrats can just finger wag and talk down and ask us for money. Choose, everybody. What are your thoughts on AOC's attempt on trying to make a list and trying to listen to different sources? Maybe she's sincere. Maybe she's not. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below when I clip this video. But let's be nice to each other's opinions, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole treasure trove of them.